In 1494, in the Black Sea port of Trabzon, a son was born to Prince Selim and his consort Hafsa Sultan. They named him Suleiman. The Ottoman Empire he would one day inherit was already vast, the product of generations of conquest, calculation, and ruthless ambition. But empires do not sustain themselves. They must be governed, and so, from his earliest years, Suleiman was shaped for exactly that purpose. At the palace school in Topkapi, he studied theology, mathematics, history, and the science of war. The curriculum was demanding by design. It prepared its students not merely to rule, but to endure the weight of ruling. Education alone, however, was never enough. The Ottoman system demanded that princes prove themselves through governance before they could claim a throne. Suleiman served as provincial administrator across 3 postings: Kaffa on the Black Sea, Saruhan on the Aegean, and finally Edirne, the old Ottoman capital, near the Ottoman capital, near the European frontier. Each province was different. Each demanded a different kind of judgment. He learned to manage local elites, to balance military demands against civilian needs, and to project authority without the full backing of the imperial center. By the time his father's health began to fail, Suleiman was not a prince waiting. He was an administrator already tested. In September 1520, Selim I died unexpectedly while still in his mid-50s. He had been a sultan of extraordinary ferocity, conqueror of Egypt, Syria, and the holy cities of Mecca and Medina, a man who had roughly tripled the empire's territory in under a decade. The standard he left behind was almost impossible to match. Suleiman received the news in Manisa and traveled to Istanbul. The transition was smooth. No rival claimants, no janissary revolt. He ascended the throne at 26, composed and prepared. But the empire that greeted him had not merely been enlarged, it had been transformed, and it now expected its new sultan to prove himself equal to the man who had built it. He did not wait. Within his first year on the throne, Suleiman turned north toward Belgrade, the fortress city at the junction of the Sava and Danube rivers that had long stood as the gate between the Ottoman Balkans and Central Europe. It had withstood Ottoman assault before, most famously repelling an attack by his great-grandfather. Its symbolic importance was as great. In 1521, after a sustained siege, Belgrade fell. For the first time, the road into Hungary lay open. Suleiman had answered the question his accession had raised. What followed would confirm that the answer was not a single moment, but a direction. The following year, Suleiman looked east, toward the sea. Rhodes was a heavily fortified island in the eastern Mediterranean, the headquarters of the Knights Hospitaller. For nearly 2 centuries, the order had operated from its stone walls, raiding Ottoman shipping and threatening the sea lanes that sustained the empire's commerce. Suleiman committed an enormous force. Estimates range widely, but the Ottoman commitment was vast. The siege was brutal and lasted months. The defenders fought with remarkable tenacity. But in December 1522, their commander agreed to terms. The knights were permitted to leave with their lives. They sailed west, carrying their order's banner into exile. A presence that had long troubled Ottoman waters was gone. In 1523, Suleiman made an appointment that would shape the next 13 years of his reign. He elevated his closest companion, a man he had known since childhood, born in Greece and brought into the imperial household as a slave. to the position of Grand Vizier. The appointment was personal as much as political. Ibrahim was charming, multilingual, and exceptionally capable. He commanded armies. He conducted diplomacy. He represented the Sultan to European courts. The two men were, by the accounts of contemporaries, genuinely close. It was an arrangement that served the empire well, for a time. And it is worth noting that every instrument of power Suleiman placed in Ibrahim's hands, he had also placed beyond easy recall. 3 years after Belgrade, Suleiman led his army into Hungary. The kingdom had neither the internal unity nor the foreign support to mount a credible defense. On the 29th of August, 1526, on a flat plain near the town of Mohacs, the two forces met. The battle lasted less than 2 hours. The Hungarian cavalry charged and was destroyed. The young king, fleeing the collapse, drowned in a marsh. Nearly the entirety of the Hungarian nobility present that day, bishops, lords, commanders, was killed or captured in the rout. It was not a battle so much as a dissolution. A kingdom that had stood for 5 centuries effectively ceased to function in an afternoon. With Hungary's throne empty and its army destroyed, Suleiman faced a decision. Direct annexation would invite sustained Habsburg military response. Instead, he chose a different strategy. He recognized John Zapalia, a Hungarian nobleman who had not fought at Mohacs, as king under Ottoman protection. It was a careful arrangement. Hungary remained nominally sovereign, nominally Christian, and effectively bound to Istanbul. The Habsburg dynasty disputed this settlement, immediately claiming the Hungarian throne by right of marriage. What followed was decades of contested sovereignty, low-level war, and a country suspended between two rival empires. For the Hungarians themselves, the arrangement offered stability of a kind, but not independence. Suleiman was not merely a general and a ruler. He was also, in his private correspondence and formal writings, a poet. And in the years following Mohacs, something changed within the palace itself, something that would reshape Ottoman court politics in ways no military campaign could. Among the women of the imperial household was a concubine of Eastern European origin, known in Turkish sources as harem and in European accounts as Roxolana. She had become his favored companion and then the mother of several of his sons. By around 1531 to 1534, the precise date remains uncertain. Suleiman took the unprecedented step of marrying her. No Ottoman sultan had taken a legal wife in living memory. The harem's careful structure of managed competition was, in a single act, fundamentally altered. In 1529, Suleiman pressed further west than any Ottoman sultan before him. He led an army of perhaps 20,000 men toward Vienna, the Habsburg capital and the symbolic center of Christian Europe. The city was lightly garrisoned. Its walls were inadequate. By the calculations of military logic, it should have fallen. But the campaign encountered problems that no amount of military skill could fully overcome. The rains were relentless that autumn. Heavy siege artillery had been left behind or lost in flooded roads. Supply lines stretched across hundreds of miles of hostile territory. By October, with winter closing in, Suleiman ordered the retreat. Vienna survived, not through strength, but through distance and season. It was the furthest point Ottoman power would ever reach in the West. 3 years later, Suleiman tried again. The 1532 campaign was even larger, perhaps the greatest Ottoman army ever assembled. But fate intervened in a place no one had anticipated. The small Hungarian fortress of Gunz, garrisoned by fewer than 1,000 defenders, refused to yield. For nearly 3 weeks it held against relentless Ottoman assault. The delay was not militarily decisive, but it consumed the campaigning season. By the time the fortress finally capitulated and Suleiman's army continued westward, autumn had come early. He withdrew without engaging the Habsburg forces. Vienna had survived a second time, and this time both sides seemed to have understood that the frontier between the two empires had, in practice, been drawn. To the east, a parallel conflict demanded equal attention. The Safavid dynasty ruled Persia as a Shia Muslim power, an ideological rival as much as a political one. Suleiman launched a major eastern campaign beginning in 1532. By 1534, Ottoman forces had captured Tabriz in northwestern Persia, and then Baghdad, a city of immense historical and symbolic significance. At the heart of the old Abbasid Caliphate, Mesopotamia was now under Ottoman control, but the Safavids could not be cornered into a decisive battle. They retreated before the Ottoman advance and returned when it withdrew. The eastern frontier was conquered in a geographic sense, but never truly stabilized. This would prove a recurring pattern. In March of 1536, Suleiman's Grand Vizier, his closest companion, the man he had elevated above all others, was summoned to dine with the Sultan at Topkapi Palace. He did not leave alive. The order for his execution came from Suleiman himself. The reasons are disputed and likely multiple. Ibrahim had grown in influence to a degree that some at court found dangerous. His conduct in diplomatic negotiations had drawn criticism, and the rivalry between him and Hurrem Sultan had been an open tension for years. What is certain is that the man who had commanded armies and represented the Ottoman Empire to European powers was strangled by palace guards in the night. Suleiman never publicly explained the decision. He did not need to. The silence was answer enough. That same year, 1536, Suleiman made a move of a very different kind, one that would have been unthinkable to his predecessors. He formalized a diplomatic and commercial alliance with the Kingdom of France. The French king faced the same Habsburg pressure that threatened Ottoman interests in Central Europe. The arrangement served both parties. French merchants gained access to Ottoman ports, and the two powers implicitly aligned their strategic interests against a common rival. European courts were scandalized. A Christian king and an Islamic sultan had concluded a formal pact, one that placed political calculation above religious solidarity. The alliance held for generations, quietly reshaping the balance of European power. In 1538, Ottoman naval power reached a summit it would not surpass. At Preveza, off the northwestern coast of Greece, a vast Ottoman fleet met the largest Christian armada assembled since the Crusades. Ships from the Habsburgs, Venice, Genoa, and the papacy. The Allied force was formidable on paper. In practice, it was divided in command and uncertain in purpose. The Ottoman admiral exploited every weakness with disciplined precision. The Christian alliance fractured under pressure and withdrew. The Ottoman victory was decisive. For the next 3 decades, no Christian power would seriously contest Ottoman mastery of the central and eastern Mediterranean. An empire that had always been a land power had become a maritime one as well. Even at the height of his military campaigns, Suleiman was engaged in something that would prove more durable than any conquest. During the 1530s and into the 1540s, under his close direction, the empire's fragmented legal traditions were gathered, reviewed, and codified into a comprehensive civil code, the Kanun. It governed taxation, criminal penalties, land tenure, and the obligations of subjects across every province of the empire. It was painstaking work, the product of years of legal scholarship combined with practical governance. In the Islamic world, this achievement earned Suleiman a title that mattered more than any European honorific: Kanuni, the lawgiver. Armies win territory. Law holds it. In 1548, war with the Safavids resumed. The empire's eastern frontier had never truly settled after the campaigns of the 1530s. Shah Tahmasp continued to contest Ottoman control over the Caucasus and northern Mesopotamia. Suleiman led another campaign deep into Persian territory, capturing Tabriz again and pressing further east than before. But the Safavid strategy remained the same: withdrawal, refusal of open battle, and patience. The land could not be held at this distance. In 1555, both powers recognized what years of campaigning had demonstrated: neither could destroy the other. The Peace of Amasya was signed, the first formal diplomatic agreement between the two empires, defining borders and acknowledging the reality of a contested but survivable frontier. In 1550, Suleiman commissioned a mosque complex on the third hill of Istanbul, a monument visible across the entire city and its surrounding waters. He entrusted its design to the greatest architect then living. Construction of the Suleymaniye took 8 years. When completed in 1558, it comprised not only the mosque itself, but an entire surrounding campus, schools, a hospital, a caravanserai, baths, and kitchens that fed the poor of the city. It was an act of governance as much as of piety, a declaration that the Sultan's power expressed itself in building and sustaining, not only in conquest. The complex still stands. Its silhouette still defines the Istanbul skyline. Very few rulers have left behind something so deliberately intended to outlast them. Then came 1553, and a decision that cast a shadow over everything that followed. Suleiman's eldest son, Shahzad Mustafa, was by this point widely regarded as the empire's most capable heir. The army loved him. The provinces he had governed respected him. His father had shaped him for exactly this succession. But reports reached Suleiman. The sources and their reliability remain disputed by historians, that Mustafa was moving to seize the throne before his father's death. Whether this was true, exaggerated, or manufactured by rivals within the court is not fully known. What is known is what Suleiman decided. He summoned his son to his military tent during the Persia campaign. When Mustafa entered, he was seized by palace guards and strangled. He was approximately 38 years old. The Janissary Corps wept. Across the empire, the grief was open and widespread. Nothing in Suleiman's reign was harder to justify or to explain. The execution of Mustafa did not resolve the question of succession. It deepened it. 2 of Suleiman's remaining sons by Hurrem Sultan now stood as the only viable heirs: the younger Bayezid and the elder Selim. Their rivalry, long contained by Mustafa's presence in the succession order, now had no buffer. It escalated into open conflict. Bayezid was defeated in battle and fled east, seeking sanctuary at the court of the very Safavid Shah. His father had spent years fighting. The Shah, calculating carefully, agreed eventually to hand him over to Ottoman envoys. In 1561, Bayezid and his sons were executed. The surviving heir Selim was quieter and more cautious than either of his brothers, a man of letters rather than of campaigns. The empire would pass to him. Whether it was ready for that is a different question. In April 1558, Hurrem Sultan died. She had been a presence in Suleiman's life for more than 30 years. The exact nature of their bond, personal devotion, political alliance, or both, is something historians continue to debate from the evidence available. What is less debatable is the scope of her influence on palace appointments, on the fates of rivals, and ultimately on the order of succession. Her death left Suleiman at 64 without the person who had stood closest to him through the most consequential decades of his reign. He had already ordered the death of his closest friend. He had already ordered the death of his most capable son. Now this. The court continued. The empire continued. But something in its center had hollowed. In the summer of 1565, Suleiman dispatched a vast force to Malta, a rocky island in the central Mediterranean now held by the Knights Hospitaller. The same order expelled from Rhodes more than 4 decades earlier. Their presence controlled a critical choke point between the western and eastern Mediterranean. The siege that followed was one of the most costly of the century. The defenders fought with desperate tenacity through the entire summer, repelling assault after assault against the island's fortifications. When a relief force arrived from Sicily in September, the Ottoman fleet withdrew. It was the most significant military failure of Suleiman's reign. The aura of Ottoman inevitability, carefully built across 40 years, had been publicly tested and found to have limits. In the spring of 1566, Suleiman set out on campaign for the 13th time. He was 71 years old. He was too ill to ride and traveled in a closed carriage, concealed from his troops. The Janissaries expected to see their sultan, not a frail old man who could no longer sit a horse. The target was a Hungarian fortress whose commander had defied Ottoman authority. The siege began. It was not a major strategic objective, but Suleiman was still there, still moving toward the enemy, still commanding from within the lines. On the night of the 6th of September 1566, before the fortress had surrendered, Suleiman died in his tent. His Grand Vizier was immediately informed. He made a decision of his own. He concealed the death. The army would continue to fight, believing its sultan still lived. The fortress fell. Only then was the truth revealed. Suleiman the Magnificent had reigned for 46 years. He had led 13 major campaigns. He had codified the law, raised architecture that still stands, fought simultaneously on 3 frontiers, and governed an empire of perhaps 15 million people at its territorial height. His body was returned to Istanbul and interred at the Süleymaniye Mosque, the complex he had commissioned to endure beyond his own lifetime. His son took the throne. The empire continued, as empires do. But the question Suleiman had answered through force and will, who holds power, who succeeds, who can be trusted with proximity to the throne, those questions had not been resolved. They had only been deferred. The law he left behind would govern the empire for generations. The precedents he set inside the palace would cost it more than he could have anticipated. What he could not control outlasted him differently. And that's it. Thank you for watching. The next story is waiting for you right here. Subscribe so you're always the first to know. Thanks for being part of this story. See you in the next one.